Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Jerred Moon. The Garage Gym Athlete Podcast is a result of my desire to build better humans, unequivocal coaches, and autonomous athletes. I've spent the last several years obsessing over program design, nutrition, and every other way you can optimize human performance. This podcast distills the latest scientific research with what I've learned and blends it with the not-so-scientific field of mental toughness. We are here to build you into a dangerously effective athlete. If you enjoy this podcast, you can find out more about our training at garagegymathlete.com. And if you want to pursue more into the field of coaching and programming, head to endof3fitness.com. Thanks for listening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jerred Moon here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
How's it going, Jerred?
It's going well. We're here with James Sullivan today, man. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, he told us pre-podcast he just finished Murph. I think that's like the perfect time to jump into a podcast here. So I'm going to throw it to you, James. You know, all the good stuff, who you are, what you do, how you train, and where you're from.
All right. My name is James Sullivan. I'm from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, active duty Coast Guard. I currently work at the Aviation Logistics Center. I'm a subject matter expert for the C-130, specifically structures. Pretty much we make sure everything gets fixed as fast as possible all over the world. I have 3 beautiful kids, 1 beautiful wife, and that's pretty much it.
That's awesome, man. This is our second Coast Guard person in the last couple of weeks here, which is awesome. What is your garage gym setup? Or, yeah, you're in it now, so I'm trying to kind of look around.
Oh yeah, I am. I have the worst lighting in the world because my garage gym is a 1-car garage with, and it doubles as my wood shop, my, mechanic shop, my everything. So everything that we've put in here is based on how small it can be or, price considerations. So I have a C2 rower. I have the rack that you see behind me, a couple kettlebells, 300 pounds of plates or so, 2 barbells, and then that's pretty much it. I have you set up on a plyo box right now. So, if it can't get, if it can't get stowed against the wall, we pretty much don't buy it. So
yeah,
that's it.
I've run into that problem. I like to do projects, DIY projects, a little bit of woodworking here and there. And then my last project I did, involved sanding. I still have sawdust like everywhere. Like it made its way into every single piece of equipment that I have. And I was like, why didn't I do this outside? But it was actually raining. That was the main reason I sanded inside, and I still want to do the project. But yeah, that's it's hard. It's hard to when they have to double the space. And then if your wife wants to park in there, that's my problem. That's always
we pretty much X that from day one. So no worries about parking. But I just think if you have all that sawdust laying around, maybe you don't need as much chalk, right?
Yeah, perfect. I should just get bags of sawdust instead of paying for the chalk. That's awesome. So what was the big reason for starting the garage gym for you?
So I just posted it the other day, actually, in the group, before all this. Truthfully, we had gotten a gift from my mother. The kids were given a obstacle course race for one of their birthdays. And after the kids ran the whole thing, they invited the family out to run it, again with the kids and just have a good time out on the course. And I'm out there with Connor, who is 9 at the time, and my daughter who's 4, and I'm helping her over obstacles and stuff. And in the meantime, I'm dying between obstacles, just trying to run like the 1/8 of a mile that they've put between these obstacles. And I can't even do a rope swing. Like I had to tell Catherine, okay, this is how you're going to do the rope swing. Put your arms up high and, jump and make sure that you let go of the rope on the other side. And, they cheer me on to do it. And I get up there and I grab the rope and I go to swing. And I didn't even, I don't want to say like I didn't hold myself up. I didn't even like have the ability to hold my weight on the rope. and just went straight in the mud, like looking up at this like 16-year-old kid who's like, sir, you need help getting up, and it was just, all right, it's time to lose some weight. I was looking at like 270 pounds back then. So, started running, signed up for another obstacle course race right off the bat, and started running. When we did the next one, the running was all fine, and then couldn't do any obstacles, and started doing P90X to try and get in better, more well-rounded shape, and that was insufficient. It quickly became insufficient, and started looking around and found your programming, and then one thing led to another. And in the meantime, the garage gym just sort of happened. We never really said like, I'm going to go out and buy a garage gym. It was always like, I need dumbbells because it'll be better with P90X, or I need this because it's going to be, easier to do whatever workout you program. So
that's awesome, man. That's a great story. Kind of getting a kick in the butt, that spark. That was all you needed. So I recently started training with my brother, and he had a similar story. He took his granddaughter to the park, and there was like a pole to slide down, kind of like a firefighter type pole. And he was like, I got this. It's like, no problem, whatever. But he's not who he once was, and so he went to slide down. He said he grabbed it and then put his feet on the pole, and he was not near strong enough to hold his body weight on the pole, so he just slid straight down. He didn't let go, but he slid, and he's like, I was holding so tight, but my grip couldn't stop me. He's like, I got like 3rd-degree burns on my hands from how quickly he slid down. And he was like, that was it. He's like, that was it for me. So that's why I'm working out with you now. And it's funny, these like little things that can trigger people to make a change, which is awesome. So what are some of your goals right now?
So right now, I try and keep my goals extremely simple. My goals are to do the next obstacle course race and complete all the obstacles. That is a very general goal. I try not to put timelines on them. This is the best shape I've ever been in my life. So to me, that means I don't know what the natural progression for each goal is. So if I say I want to PR my squat, I can't really say I want to PR my squat by 20 pounds the next fit week. I don't know what a realistic timeline is. So I try and keep everything very general. I'm going to do the next obstacle race and complete all of the obstacles. And then from there, I'll come up with a new one, just moving forward.
That's great, man. And where does Murph fit into all this? Probably have some people listening who are doing Murph regularly. What are you doing? So we can let everybody else know how you're tackling it.
Yeah. So an unnamed person sort of reached out when I was talking about on the group about how I had trouble doing pull-ups. Like I was just talking about pulling my body weight over these obstacles, and that I think that the key to moving forward with that goal would be to be able to do a sufficient number of pull-ups. And that unnamed person, that may or may not have been Chris Morgan, reached out and said, like, I'm doing this thing, this every Thursday I do Murph, 52 weeks a year. You should get in this group. And all right, why not? Sounds good. So I jumped in about like the last 3 weeks of, the last Murph 52 project. So I didn't count any of those or anything, but, got in the group, and it's a great group of guys who are all encouraging, just like the standard Facebook group. And I was like, I guess I'm already doing it. I might as well just sign on for the whole 52. And, every Thursday, rest day, I found that it doesn't make me feel good to get out of my schedule and, have that day off in the middle of the week. So versus taking a true rest day, I just do Murph in the morning instead. And, hopefully it's helping. It's definitely helping with the pull-ups. I'm up to 5 unbroken now from the 0 that I could do, 2 fit weeks ago. So
That's awesome. I do think Morgan misled you a little bit. You could just do 100 pull-ups every Thursday without the additional miles, push-ups, and squats. But
Yeah, it's not a package deal.
you are going to be better for doing it, though.
It's like
I
a
wouldn't
car
say
salesman.
that, yeah. Yeah, he definitely he didn't say that was the only way to get better. He just said, if you did Murph once a week, you would definitely get better at pull-ups. So
Step 1, Murph,
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. So what were you doing before you were a garage gym athlete? You mentioned P90X. Anything else slide into your fitness journey?
I actually consider P90X part of my garage gym, evolution, I guess I would say, because before that I did zero. I listen to all of the interviews, and I hear a lot of people who have a previous experience, even if they haven't been doing anything for a couple of years. My previous experience was high school football, and I hated the weight room back then. If the coach wasn't like forcing me into the weight room, I didn't go. So I had zero lifting experience. I tried a couple times maybe to get into to decide that this time I was going to lose some weight and get into the gym. And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And, all the bro science started coming out, as Joe likes to talk about, and everybody coming up to me and telling me what I was doing wrong and how I need to do this better. And it was incredibly intimidating, and I would constantly fall off. So P90X was sort of the start of it. And coming into, your programming definitely just was the pinnacle of, exactly what I was looking for. And I just switched from hard to kill to strength, but hard to kill was sort of exactly what, like when you're talking about training for these obstacle course races, it's almost on the nose, for training for that. So I don't know even if that even answered your question, to be honest.
No, I did. Yeah. So that's good because you're right. A lot of people we talk to have some sort of background, some people more extensive background, but coming in with relatively no background, I think should be encouraging for a lot of people. And I think P90X has made it. I mean, if we really ask that question to every athlete, like everyone's seen it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like I tried P90X like when it first came out, like back in the day. My brother was doing it and I did some of it. Joe, have you ever experimented with any P90X? Or are you
Surprisingly, no.
Wow.
Skipped right over it.
that is surprising. But then I feel like, that's a common thing. And then from P90X, there is the where do you go from here, because it's not a lifelong program. I mean, I'm not real familiar with all the stuff that they do, but like it would probably just get boring, right? Like doing that over and over again. So it's a natural evolution to move on to something a little bit more functional.
Right. The 6 weeks, that was another thing. The concept that you could, you're going to lose all your body fat and you're going to be shredded in 6 weeks. All you got to do is this program. And it was unrealistic, incredibly, like, if that's your goal, to get completely shredded in 6 weeks and you're 270-pound guy, like that's not a real goal, and that's what they're advertising. So whereas the thing that attracted me to you guys was, everything is simple and you're not shy to say this is going to take a long time. You got to do the little things over and over and over again.
Yeah. I'm often surprised that we even succeed as a company by telling people this is going to take a decade. But
underselling. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, how do you like training in your garage?
Love it. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yep.
Getting out here at 4:30 in the morning to get it in is the only way that I could see it happening with 3 kids and a long daily job. So
yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into these questions. I'm interested to hear. What's the hardest workout you've ever done?
Hardest workout I ever done was the Brooklyn half marathon. Right when I started running, somebody said that I should try a half marathon. Signed up for the popular Brooklyn half. It was the biggest one. Just in case, I only did one because that sounded like a terrible idea to do a half marathon. I wanted to do a fun one, a big one, right? Signed up for that thing. And then it got turned into a virtual because of COVID. And when I went to go do the virtual, I was grossly unprepared. We live out in the country, a lot of cars on these country roads going super fast. I was like, you know what, I'll go to this park and I'll do it. Nikki and the kids came to like cheer me on. It was going to be great. So I went from doing a half marathon on asphalt that was supported to a unsupported trail half marathon. And because we had Nikki and the kids, we didn't exactly get there at the time we wanted. So it ended up happening in the middle of the day in May. And it turned into, I got like maybe 7 miles in. I was out of water, 7 miles from where I started. And the last half of it was just atrocious. I had never done any significant running on dirt at that point. So all the little stabilizing muscles were just, cramping up, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, finishing that.
That's awesome, man. No support. It's just like, all right, I'm just going to go. I'll see you guys later.
I do dumb things sometimes.
So did you just ran like the last 7 miles in no water, or 7-ish?
Yeah, it was. I didn't really have much of an option because, once it's sort of like the Iron Mile, right? You walk away and then you don't. Yeah. What are you going to do? You just sort of come back. So
I guess you didn't want to publicly start screaming for water, because then it just adds shame to it.
Well, I think my options were like hail down a park ranger and ask for a ride back. Like, excuse me, you got any water or a ride for me? So, yeah, it was one foot in front of the other for a good 6 miles, I'd say.
That's great. All right, in your opinion, what's the best activity for building mental toughness?
Identifying excuses. My journey was a lot of excuses. I would always tell myself that I enjoyed being a fat guy, right? Or, without having to worry about working out, or, I don't need to run today because it's raining. I don't need to, there was always a bunch of excuses. I think having a system of mental accountability with yourself, where it's okay to have excuses, but to identify them as excuses is a huge way of building mental toughness. Even like what we were just talking about with the half there, can I run 6 miles back? I don't know. Can I take 2 more steps? Yeah, I can. Just identifying every little excuse in your life and deciding whether or not you wanted to act on it as an individual thing is my way of maintaining mental toughness.
Awesome. All right, if you could have only one piece of equipment to train with for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I think it would be, I got a set of adjustable dumbbells, the power blocks. They were really the first piece of equipment that we had that I would count as weightlifting equipment. And to be like, for their package size, you just can't beat them. Like if we were to, move, like, cause we move every 4 years. So if we were to move right now, I think those would be in the car with us,
Yeah.
So
Liz, for some reason, thinks adjustable dumbbells aren't worth it. I don't know why, even though we have a ton of kettlebells.
It's hard because they're like the power blocks, depending on how much weight you need, they are just crazy expensive, because if you want like the heavy, like we're talking about the triple digit power blocks, you're in the thousands of dollars, right? And so it makes sense. They even try to tell you on their website, they're like, well, you're replacing all this weight. And it's true if you're to buy all those dumbbells individually.
Yeah.
But it's a hard pill to swallow if you're like, well, do I really need all of that? It's a tough one.
Well, and every 4 years we're going to not lose, but we're going to get billed for the weight that we move across
right.
the country, right? So I got, those only go up to 50 pounds each at this point, but a 5 to 50 dumbbell set is going to weigh more than 100 pounds, so.
Yeah. And I like adjustable. I have like Bowflex I have their adjustable ones. It goes up to like 50 something. And I really like them, and it's great. Emily likes them as well. but I'm more on the space saver side of it. You know, I don't, even if I wanted to spend thousands of dollars on, you know, racks of dumbbells, I don't want that much floor space taken up from dumbbells. I think power blocks or adjustable dumbbells in general are a great buy.
And moving it,
Yeah.
you always like to move.
Yeah.
What would be something you want to add to your gym?
So space unlimited, as we talked about. I want some version of the assault bike, air bike. I've done a couple of the workouts, just because I travel a lot and randomly I'll find one in a gym and do a couple of the workouts on those. And there is nothing like 30-second sprints on an assault bike to just, hate life for that short period of time. Joe currently just programmed in like Gain 30 or something with, you were supposed to use the assault bike, and I had to use just a standard bike trainer, and it's not the same. I mean, I still got the effect, I'm sure, but I just want to be able to just crush myself on one of those things regularly.
Yeah, those sprints, it's one of those things that it's just hard to replicate, but it's also like, if you really need to have a workout where you're just like, I just need to go all out for a second or get my heart rate up and just do those intervals, that's the easiest way to do it. And I would do those on the weekends after like doing some supersets. It's like, you know what, I need to get my heart rate up after lifting some weights. I'm just gonna do some sprints on this.
Right.
Jump rope and airdyne, man. There's nothing quite the same stimulus out there for just jacking your heart rate up really fast. Awesome, man. Well, what is your best advice for all the garage gym athletes out there listening right now?
So best advice would be for those of you coming in that are brand new, I mean, no experience, those are kind of the people that I feel like I could give advice to. And that would be to set goals and set a lot of them, and use those as an opportunity to pat yourself on the back instead of, breaking yourself down. There's going to be enough people breaking you down that, if you have a weight goal, if you have, a body weight goal, if you have you want to make this lift better, if you want to do this, like, come up with all those goals. And then every time that you get any one of them, scream it from the rooftops and, post it on the group and, be excited for yourself. I found in the beginning, I was giving this, I would say like this, I want to increase my back squat by 20 pounds and I'd increase it by, 10 and I'd be mad, when really I should have been, excited that I had, done a better job. So I would say just take the opportunity to pat yourself on the back.
Awesome. All right, James. Well, thank you so much for, being a part of the community, sharing your story with us today. Really phenomenal, all you've been able to accomplish and turn around without as much, background and fitness, like you said, like with other people. So awesome work, man. And again, thanks for being an athlete and being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
To the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.